First thing I gotta do before I take it to the tranny shop is this door, the driver's door, doesn't close. The window is halfway fallen down and it won't go up. So I gotta fix this door. Today, episode 2, we're gonna be working on the door, window moldings, making sure the door closes, the latch, all that stuff. So let's get started. I just replaced the hinge pin, this guy right here, still pressing it in, but placed the bushings on it. But I also realized that this thing has been, this whole door where it bolts into the door has been broken before. And I know this is pretty common on these, that these doors, the sheet metal just kind of rips out. There is a kind of a plate on the back side of it, but it's moving pretty good still. Making a snapping noise because I can see the whole door moving before it pulls the bracket itself. So I just need to spread that load out farther so it's not just right on these really crappy welds that somebody put in here. So I'm gonna have to fix that. I made this plate out of it's actually a chunk of my frame from my Jeep Wrangler when I cut my frame apart to relocate my shock mount. So I found this laying on the floor, so I cut it out and drilled 3 holes in it to mount it behind there to hopefully try and spread the load out a little bit and space it out to give me the gap that I need on the back of the door. So I'm going to install this, see if it helps out. Okay, so with my plate in there now, the door actually closes now, and the gap seems to be a lot better than it was. I know I didn't record before, but the door wouldn't even shut down here. This lip was sitting below the level of the rocker guards here. Now it's a little bit like a 1/16 of an inch too high, maybe. I don't know, but and there's a dent here, so I think it's as good as I'm going to be able to get it. Got to get to this door latch, which is stuck closed, and I can't close the door at all. I'm going to take this latch out, take the latch apart, and see if I can get it to work again without having to spend, I think a new one's like $100, $120, and I really don't want to spend that kind of money on a latch. It needs a new latch because it is internally broken, but I was able to get it lubed up and kind of manipulate it around and mess with it, and I was able to get it to actually work. It closes and locks and shuts, and I can unlock it and lock it with the key. Not super reliable, but it does work. I'm happy with the way it fits now. It doesn't creak because of that extra plate I added on the lower door hinge. So next up is this window. So I bought all new trim that goes around the door, these pieces that snap in, and the window rails. But I've been messing with the window, and I realized that about halfway down, the window just falls off the track completely, especially on this left side. I need to take the whole window out and move where the window regulator attaches to the window, because it has been taken out and moved somehow and is now in the incorrect spot on the window. So when it goes down, it just falls off the track. And so what the problem is this metal piece that attaches to the window and then attaches to the window regulator, it had moved over about 2 inches. So you can see it was actually attached right here, and it should be all the way over here. The rollers, the wheels would come out here and then just fall out the track. So what I'm going to do is I got this off, it just came right off, and I don't even know what this is. It's like some weird putty thing. So I'm going to have to take this off, clean it all up, get all the oil, all the residue, get everything out of this, and clean the window up. What I'm doing is I'm just taking my screwdriver, shoving it in here, and just kind of working it out on both sides. I'm just kind of pulling it out. It's kind of a pain, but that's what I gotta do, I guess. I'm just gonna use a razor blade to get all the pieces off the glass. This side with the brake clean, try and get all that oil off of there. So the epoxy will stick to it. Hopefully this Windex will clean this up. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see, but before I clean this all up, I marked a little mark right here with a paint pen, and I made sure that I didn't clean it off so that I could know where I needed this bracket to sit at. The gap on this right here was too much. It kind of wiggled around in there a little more than I liked, so I just took my vice grips and set it to the depth that I wanted, and just went across the whole thing and just snapped it every inch or so. I said I don't have my tripod right now, so this is hard to do with one hand. So I just snapped all the way down the whole thing to get that gap a little bit tighter all the way down, so it now slides on there with a little bit of effort, but it slides on there really nice now. I'm just using the Permatex gap filling 5-minute epoxy. It's good for chrome, fabric, fiberglass, glass, plastic, metal, and rubber. So I bought this truck actually knowing that the transmission was bad in it. So I eventually am planning to take it to the transmission shop and have it rebuild it for towing. But until then, I actually drove it home from where I bought it. And I drove it over to Robbie's house once, and I drove it around a little bit, taking it up, put it in my driveway and in my garage so I can work on this door. But today, when I went to do that, just to pull it out into the street and put it into my garage, the tranny just didn't want to do it. It's done. So it actually got stuck halfway in the road, and it wouldn't move forward. It wouldn't go backwards, wouldn't go forward. I'd really rev on it, and it would kind of move a little bit, but it wouldn't go up my driveway at all. So I had to position my Jeep up here and get the winch out and pull it up. I have a couple pictures of that. I'll probably throw it up right now. But I had to winch it into the driveway just a little bit. So I had planned on driving it to the transmission shop, but I guess I'm gonna have to get it towed there now. I have the window slid in here now, and I was able to slide it on to the window regulator. And you can see now, instead of sliding completely out of this bracket and the window falling out, it's now completely on it, which was the goal to begin with. So now I can put this side window, slide it into here, which has the track for this side of the window, is now going up and down. I call it success. Everything's staying together. I wanted to make sure that it was actually going to stay in the tracks and do what it's supposed to do before I put these final moldings on. So here it goes. It's going down to the transmission shop to get rebuilt. See it back in a week or two. Thanks for watching the video. The truck is currently at the transmission shop getting the rebuild. So hopefully they'll be able to let me inside and show me what they're doing on the rebuild. Let me get some video of it. That'd be really cool. Make sure you guys subscribe to our channel, like our videos, give us some comments, let us know what you think. We're on Instagram, Facebook. Check us out over there. And as always, we'll see you on the trail.